Oh god. Alright, I've got 4.4 volts. I think it starts beeping at 4.2.
Oh, so you still have some battery life. What's the battery life in it like?
It's not terrible. That's just a matter of swapping out the changing receivers to something that doesn't run at 4 AA's.
Yeah. So it's the controller that's running out of batteries, not
no.
Are these? What are these? Lead acid?
I charge these like once a month. I don't use it all that much, but I don't charge them at all too often.
Well, let's see him go.
It's I got it in slow mode. I don't want to put a hole in the sheetrock. Pan and tilt with the camera.
That's cool.
So I guess, do you want the?
Yeah. So how does it work? Like, I mean, this was originally.
So this was originally a wheelchair chassis. It was a full electronic wheelchair, and what I've done is I've taken all the controller, like the joystick and whatnot of the wheelchair. I've ripped it all out, put in my own speed controller, which basically takes the output of the receiver in here, the wireless receiver, and modifies that output into a physical wheel.
Did you have to like reverse engineer the mechanism, the control mechanism that was actually on the wheelchair?
No, you didn't have to at all. These are pretty standard. They're meant to be run with all sorts of things. You can output serial. You can output all sorts of other things too. This specific one. It also takes PWM, and it's pretty common to use PWM with this one. Again, PWM is what comes out of the receiver.
So this is just a regular RC plane one, which already does, communicates with your controller.
It's got a little plane icon there. It thinks it's flying a plane, I guess.
Hey, why not?
There's not very many RC.
Go ahead.
Oh, there's not very many RC transmitters and receivers out there for robots, per se.
But it's the same idea. I mean,
it's
when
all
you
the
press
same
forward
concept.
on this, it's telling this controller to vary the width of the pulses, and then based on that, the robot knows how fast to go.
Yep, that's it. They have a lot of other features in here, like specific trim you can set. Aileron, DR. I'm not sure what that all stands for. Like landing gear and whatnot. I also have a cool relay in here that works off of PWM. So I can flip down my gear switch, and normally wheels would go down, but in this case, it flips on an alternator. It's just a 12-volt relay, which I have plugged into a car alternator.
Oh, wow.
A power alternator.
And what does that give you?
Just 125-volt AC.
Oh, okay. So if you wanted to, like...
Sure, they're called alternators.
Inverter.
Inverter, yeah.
Yes.
Inverters. There you go. Yeah, so I have a...
So you could have a coffee maker on here, and it could drive the coffee maker to you. What do you put on this guy? You spin him around and show me the PTZ? Oh well.
So right now we've got an alpha hooked up to it. That's just your standard alpha without the one that's not the N model.
Yeah, the AWS-US036H.
We've got just a USB 720p webcam here that has a pan and tilt mechanism. Oops. There you go. It has a pan and tilt mechanism on it.
Oh, that's cool. Is this 3D printed?
No, that's not. I bought that from a spot. You could definitely 3D print that, though.
Yeah. That's really cool. And so you can just put your laptop on there and drive it around with Skype and be able to look up and down and see where you're going, have conversations with people really low.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely fun. I guess the range of this is pretty far. And I think one thing that I've kind of thought about doing is just taking a directional antenna and making a kind of mount to always look at a certain location, so when I turn around it
that'd be
has
cool.
That lock on a certain thing.
Yeah.
Like I think I've heard of like war driving stuff similar to that, where it would lock on an access point as you're driving around in circles around it.
Well, that's kind of like how, you know, like, for example, the U-2 spy plane, it's like it's flying over like this, right? And so relative to it, the ground is moving. And so what happens is the camera, which has to take a longer exposure to get something useful, has to, as the aircraft is moving, rotate like that, so it's always pointed at the right place. So you could, I'm sure, do the same thing with Wi-Fi. In fact, you could, with, say, an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or whatever have you could have it do kind of a scan mode where it looks, you know, a few different directions to see, like, where's the best signal and then lock into that.
Yeah, definitely. I know throwing an Arduino on this would be easy peasy. Arduino can output PWM, and which is compatible with my speed controller.
Oh, and then you could drive it from Arduino.
Yeah, you can even do serial and other stuff.
So you could drive it over the network that instead of having to use the airplane controller.
Yeah, I could do that. I'm not sure. I definitely like that. I know that
this
has fail-safes in place for, you know, if I do lose a connection somehow or my battery dies,
right.
It alerts me.
If you could do it over the internet, then you wouldn't have to rely on Wi-Fi if you could give it like 3G network connectivity.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not sure.
Then you get into some territory where, you know, who knows what the legal aspects are.
I'm not so... I've seen it done before, and I know there was one of the DEF CONs. I think it was actually Hack Five that you guys looked at that really, really big
the big yellow airplane. Yeah. So that drone, what they explained to me, and I don't know how this differs between land and air, but it can't be fully automated as far as the autopilot's concerned. The human needs to be in control, and it needs to be within sight.
Yeah,
so, but I wonder if it differs on ground, because could you imagine you're up here on your laptop and you're driving around downstairs in the middle of Main Street, like checking out stuff.
When I got it all hooked up to run on RC, I threw the chair back on there and the joystick and everything, and I drove it around just to see what their reactions to like a wheelchair just driving itself.
Oh my god, nice.
And I almost had a roofer jump off the roof because he thought like some old lady fell off of the wheelchair and the wheelchair is just rolling down a hill.
Oh man, you need to put like a hat or something floating above the seat so it looks like an invisible person.
Yeah, really.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, hey, thanks for showing me this.
No problem. It's definitely fun. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.